Welcome to Ink and Fitness. For those who are new to the channel, my name is Anthony. I am someone who went from skinny to fit, and these videos are purely educational. So this way, if you're also someone who's on the skinnier side of things, then you can go ahead, apply what you're learning, be consistent with it above all, and see your own results when it comes to your own fitness journey. In terms of today's video topic, we're going to be talking about if you don't train in this specific way as a skinny guy, you will stay skinny forever. Forever, ever, ever, ever. So listen up, take some good notes, pay attention, watch the video all the way through. So this way you know how to train, you can implement it, take some action, be consistent with it, and get your own results. So let's get straight into things for today. We're we're just coming right out the gate with intensity, right? This is the way that you should train. You should train with some sort of intensity in place. Because not a lot of guys, doesn't matter if you're skinny, if you're, overweight, whatever it is, or if you're just a pure beginner inside of the gym and, you're just, trying to stay in shape or be healthy, right? Whatever it is. In my opinion, you should still train with some sort of level of intensity, right? At least exerting yourself to the next level, right? The next level that you're not used to, that you're not comfortable with. Because a lot of guys now whose main priority is to build muscle, right? Gain weight as well, they're not training with nearly enough intensity, and it's costing them a lot of gains, right? Their main objective is just to get in and out of the gym. Um, they just swing around the weights, and that's everything that they do, right? They might ego lift as well. They might just stroke their own ego, right? They're curling 45 pounds where they can barely do 30 when they should actually be doing 20 pounds. So those sort of things are really costing a lot of you skinny guys out there a lot of gains that you could be making, right? So that's kind of the first slide here that I wanted to discuss. Now, I know there's a lot of questions when it comes to training with intensity, right? How does it look like? What does that even mean? There's so much stuff out there online that says so many different things that you don't know what to listen to exactly, right? So, to provide some clarity for those that don't know what training with intensity or training till failure looks like, because in my opinion, it's the same thing, training with intensity, training with failure, or training until failure. Just because if you do train with intensity, then you're going to hit failure because of that. Training with intensity or hitting failure, excuse me, is a byproduct of you training with intensity. So, what does this look like though? Or what is it exactly? For those of you who don't know what this is exactly. Training with intensity is when you perform a given exercise movement until you cannot complete one full rep anymore. Your form is near perfect. You're not swinging around your body. You're not swinging around the weights. You're not ego lifting at all whatsoever. And you really push and exert yourself, right? You pick a moderate weight where you can control the form, where you're not ego lifting, and you go until you cannot perform one full rep anymore. And typically, where you hit failure is between the rep ranges of 6 to 8 reps, right? If you pick a moderate enough weight, if you control the form, and if you're actually exerting yourself, you will hit failure within that rep range of 6 to 8. You might be asking, why should you train in this way, right? Why should you give a shit about training with intensity, training till failure? What is it going to do for you? I think it goes without saying that the biggest benefit from training in this way is that it gives you the most gains, right? It is a fully optimized way, quote unquote optimized, right? Because I don't want to be kind of like, an optimal gym bro, right? But I do like training a certain way that really is cohesive with gaining the most muscle that you can gain, right? So it's not only just training, it's also your eating and recovery that needs to be in check. But since we're just talking about training here, we're just going to focus on that. Um, but in my opinion, though, apart from just making great progress from training in that way, it's also super fun to actually train in that way. You get to challenge yourself, you get to really push yourself, and it's a you versus you battle. And I think, in my opinion, there's no better way to spend your time in the gym than pushing yourself in that kind of way, right? Like what's going to give out first, your mind or your body? And it should be your body that gives out first, right? Your mind shouldn't give out first because a lot of people who do who perform a certain exercise for a certain number of reps, they stop at a certain point because their mind is like, oh no, it's starting to burn, just stop, right? It's starting to hurt, just stop. Why are you doing this? Just stop, walk out the gym, right? Whatever it is. When in reality, your mind should be, or you should be feeding your mind, or you should be battling your mind against those kind of thoughts. You should be thinking, no, I can keep going. I can go for 2 more reps. Shut the hell up, brain, right? You're not in charge of me. I control you. I own you. You're part of me. You don't own me, right? So that kind of battle is very fun for me, at least it is in my opinion. So I think that way of training is also very beneficial for one's mindset. It really makes you value hard work, makes you value discipline, and it just mentally toughens you up as well. And that's something that you can carry into different aspects of your life, career, finances, relationships, whatever, right? Sky's the limit. So that's just a couple of reasons why you guys should consider training that way. If you pair it up with if you pair this up with a dialed in eating and recovery regime in a few months' time, you will notice the results, and they're going to be good results. Throw on a few more years onto that, years compounded from training in this way, from having your eating and nutrition dialed in, you're going to make some very significant progress. This is the way I wish I would have trained in the very beginning of my gym journey. And 9 times out of 10, I would have been in a different spot right now, like in terms of my own physique, if I trained in this kind of way from the very beginning. But that's okay. I made the mistakes for you guys, so that way you won't have to make any, right? And even if you do make some, it's going to be very minuscule and very minimal in the grand scheme of things. Now, in terms of progressive overload, you should still be implementing progressive overload because it is the foundation of hypertrophy training. If you pair it up with training in the way that I just explained to you guys, training till failure, training with high intensity, you have a magnificent formula for muscle growth as far as training goes. So you should still be implementing it. Don't, you know, don't half-ass anything. Just because you're training with intensity doesn't mean that you should neglect progressive overload, because it is what you need to continue building strength and continue building muscle. So for those of you who don't know what progressive overload is, I highly, highly encourage you to check out the past 3 videos, because the past 3 videos talk about progressive overload more in depth, so that way you guys are aware of what it is. Because I'm not going to explain it in depth in this video. Um, you can also look it up on Google if you feel like it as well. But overall, to kind of bring things full circle, you want to train with a purpose inside of the gym, right? You don't want to half-ass anything, your workouts, what you're doing, or your main purpose should not be to just be in and out of the gym, right? If you want to build muscle, then you will have to earn it through hard work. It might sound cheesy or corny to you guys or some of you guys, but it is the truth, right? You can't get the results that you want to get without putting forth some sort of effort into things. Now, this isn't me saying that you need to spend 2 hours inside of the gym 6 out of the 7 days that there are in a week, because that's just a big load of shit, right? You don't need to do that to make great results, good results, decent results, whatever, right? And a lot of beginners believe they need to train in this way because they saw the most jacked guy in the world on social media do a super high volume approach of training 6 to 7 times per week for 2 to 3 hours within each training session. And the reality is, most of those guys out there, I wouldn't say most, let's just say some of them, right? Some of them are using performance enhancing drugs, and through them using that, of course they're going to look jacked. And of course they're going to be able to spend that much time inside of the training sessions, that much time dedicated towards the gym per week, and It justifies them being able to do that mass amount of volume that they're doing per training session or per weekly training sessions or excuse me, just per training sessions because they're able to recover a lot more quicker than a natural athlete would be able to recover. And I have no problem with anyone using performance enhancing drugs, but the minute someone starts to lie about it and starts to promote their coaching services or their meal plans or their supplements, and given that the credit for them achieving and attaining the physique that they have, that's where I draw the line, right? Because that's scumbag behavior, and that's really setting up unrealistic expectations for people who are new to the gym, right? And that's when you have people who do these crazy workouts, take these supplements, do these crazy meal plans, right? Whatever it is, and they get no results. They get little to no results, and they're wondering, is it a me thing? Like, what's going on? Maybe I'm just not cut out for the gym. Maybe it's just my fast metabolism. This gym stuff is shit, right? It's bullshit. I don't want to do this anymore. And then they just start spiraling mentally and emotionally. So don't believe that kind of stuff. You can get an excellent and an effective workout in just 30 to 60 minutes. 30 to 60 minutes. Doesn't have to be this crazy 2 hour long, 3 hour long training session. 30 to 60 minutes with just going to the gym either 2, 3, 4, or 5 times per week. It just depends on your schedule. Just depends on how much time you're able to dedicate towards the gym. And if it's just 2 times per week, perfectly fine. It's all about the quality of your training sessions, not the quantity. If you're able to dedicate 5 times per week, excellent. Go for it. Because 2 days worth of rest is the bare minimum that you need as a natural athlete, in my opinion, right? Everyone's body is different, yes, of course, but I always preach 2 days worth of rest at least per training or per week, right? Because recovery is just as important as training hard and having your eating dialed in. And I find as well, just the last point before we wrap things up for today, I find that fitting fitness into your schedule and not making it your whole life makes things a lot more sustainable, a lot more enjoyable. And that's when you have people who actually end up being and staying on their fitness journey for years on end. So that's the beauty of it. It's not about making fitness your whole life, right? Unless you're trying to be the next Mr. Olympia or if you're competing for shows in general, right? Or if you're serious about that kind of stuff, then it's going to look very different for you because then fitness will be your life because that's your career. That's what you're dedicated towards. But I'd say 95% of you guys who are watching these videos or who are just watching people working out, being inspired by them, don't have any aspirations to be the next Mr. Olympia or compete in shows, right? You guys are just doing this because you want to be in shape, you want to look good, and you want to feel good, most importantly. So you don't have to be so anal about all these different things, right? Working out for 2 hours, right? Taking gear or anything like that. No. You can get an effective workout in, get great results in by just training very minimally per week for 30 to 60 minutes within each training session. So don't get things twisted. Make fitness a part of your lifestyle. Don't make it your whole lifestyle. If your intentions are not to be the next Mr. Olympia or compete in shows. So just my little rant there. Um, Thanks for watching the video though, guys, all the way through. Appreciate that. I love you guys for that. And thank you so much I think we're at 40 something subscribers now, 41, 42. So I also appreciate the support as well, the new support. It's honestly great to see this little channel just growing day by day, little by little, right? I love that. I love giving you guys value as well. So I sincerely hope that you're learning a lot from these videos because these are the things, these are the topics, these are the tips, the advice that I wish I would have heard when I first started, working out, go to the gym, right? So I hope you guys gain a lot of value from these videos. And again, if you are someone who watched all the way through, I appreciate that and I appreciate you most importantly. If there's something that you guys want to watch in specific, comment it down below so that way I can just take a look at it and then make a nice little video for you guys on that topic specifically. If you are someone wanting one-to-one coaching, the link for that will be down below. So feel free to check that out. But until the next one, though, guys, take care. Much love to you all. Peace.